Hi Flosstube, it's Lynn, the Canadian Stitcher. Happy Canada Day. It's July 1st, Canada's birthday. Hello and welcome to all my returning viewers and new subscribers. And if this is the first video of mine that you've watched, thanks for coming by. Let me know where you live in the world. I still like hearing that. People from all over the world, where everybody lives. In my last video, I had talked about the Haid site not working properly for me. So I sent an email. What was happening is I'd go on to Heaven and Earth Designs, the Haid site. I'd go on and be looking at something, and then when I would click the back button, it would say secure connection failed and try again. So I would try again and it wasn't working. So I contacted Haid, and I got an email response from the CEO, Michelle Sayada, and she said to contact my service provider, which I did. And they said, depending on how the website is set up, they may have security settings that if you visit a site too often, which I'm guilty of doing, visiting the Haid site very often, that they may see it as a threat, and then you get blocked from from the website. I do go on the Haid site often. I used to like when I come home from work and just sit down at the computer and just look at the designs and look at the patterns for 15 minutes or something, just as a de-stress. So I may have been there too many times. Anyway, so I emailed Michelle back and I explained that to her and told her, yes, I do visit your site very, very often. And provided her with my IP address, and she said she would get in touch with IT. And so I waited a couple days, and then I went back on again, and I was able to look at some certain designers that I like the most. I went and looked at theirs to see if they have anything that's new. Not interested in buying anything right now. I was just window shopping, and then it did it again, and the secure connection failed. So I think it's a sign. No more Haids for you. You have enough. I just like looking at them. I wasn't going on there to buy. I was just going there to look and see what they have. They have such pretty designs. So some questions and comments. I got a question from a Maria McPhail in Edmonton. She said she's just getting back into cross stitching and asked where a good place was to find some charts. So I recommended Mr. Frame in St. Albert. I've talked about that store before. It's small. It's primarily a frame shop, but she does have some cross stitch. She has some basic cross stitch supplies. She does have Mill Hill, seed bead. She's got DMC, anchor, different fabrics. Yeah, but she does have a lot of kits and a lot of different brands of kits. So, and the manager of the store, Alicia, she did say she would order in anything that somebody wanted. So, Elisa, who I've been watching a couple of her videos. Hi, Elisa. She asked me what brand my scroll frame was. I have my scroll frame for my Celtic Spring. This is my scroll frame. And I wasn't sure what the name was. I thought I had thrown out the packaging, but it was actually in the drawer with my scroll frames. And it is Handy Clamp by Frank A. Edmonds Company. And they're out of Chicago. So that's the only project that I've stitched on a scroll frame so far. I bought some of them, but I put that one on there anticipating that when I was doing the beading, I'd be able to roll it up and not have to worry about the beads coming off with the Q-snaps. I prefer to work on Q-snaps, but I put that on there last summer thinking, well, I get this finished and then I'll be doing the beading. It was like a year ago. It still isn't done. Anyway, I find it awkward because it's so long and I don't have a floor frame. So I end up having to try to balance all of this and it's good for the purpose of for beading and that, but just for using it for everyday, I prefer the Q-snaps. I'm also watching Denkai on Flosstube. She's got a fun little channel with her family, and she makes needle minders. She makes beautiful needle minders. Oh my goodness. I went on her Etsy page and had a look around and made myself leave. I might buy one. A real one. I just make my own. But I did get a few comments on my mystery parcel that I had gotten in the mail. This weird bra thing that I thought, when I got a little package, I thought it was somebody maybe sending me a rack, like a random act of kindness. This week, I got another one. I don't know how my address is being mislabeled onto these packages. It's just ridiculous. Hopefully they'll mislabel something good, and I'll get something good in the mail that I can actually use. So I'm not going to use those. It's funny though. I did get a few comments on my. It's not a rack. It's. I don't have a creeper that's sending me those things. It's just they're somehow, whoever it is just mislabeling some packages. So I have 2 weeks of progress. I worked on my Lynx. I finished page 2. I thought I'd be working on page 3, but when you look at it and it doesn't look like there's very much there, it takes a lot longer than you think it's going to, but there is page 1 and 2 complete. So it's fur. It's not going to be a beautifully smooth cat. It's representative of fur. And you can see the snow across the bottom here, and this is the paw. Part of the paw right there in the front. Yeah. I've never seen a lynx cat in wildlife. I've seen, living in Canada and having lived in rural Alberta, seen a lot of wild Canadian wildlife animals. I've never seen a lynx, and I don't know anybody who has. They are beautiful cats, and the thing about them, there's many things that I like about the lynx. They have the ear tufts. They've got this pointed hairs that come up from their ears. It makes them really unique looking, and they have huge paws. Like their paws are just massive, and they use their paws as snowshoes to walk across the top of the snow. And they're big, heavy cats too, so they don't sink into the snow. They've got these huge snowshoe paws. Their posture too, their back end is up higher in the air than their front. Yeah, and they've got like a little bobtail on them. They're beautiful cats. For June 21st, I started Stony Creek Collection, Samplers to Treasure, the Pansy sampler. Just worked on that one a little bit, just that one day for first day of summer start. So I started on the alphabet, and I'm working my way down, and then I'm going to do the bottom and then go back up and do the top. So I'm stitching the letters and doing the back stitching at the same time, because it gives me more of a counting 2 point if I fill in the back stitches. And I believe the chart or the pattern called for 2 strands for the back stitching on the letters, and I started it that way and I didn't like it, so I switched to 1 strand. I like that better. So this one's going to go into rotation. I'm not sure when I'm going to be working on that one again. So June and July I'm focusing on finishes, so I did pull out this little one. This is a Bucilla Donna Dewberry Rosebud wreath, just a small one here. And I worked on this for a couple of evenings and got all of these little parts of the grapes filled in here. I'll leave that one out. I might just kind of pick that one up in the evenings and just work on it a little bit. I also worked on Cross Country Stitching, October 2003 Cranberries. Oh, I like this one. So I'm leaving it on the Q-snap just because this one's going with me to work tomorrow to work on my lunch break. So I finished, what did I do here? I finished the little cabinet and the quilt and the letters and the cranberries. So normally I don't backstitch as I go, but just the way this is close to the edge of the fabric here, and I had the Q-snap set up perfectly, so I thought I might as well go ahead and do the back stitching on this bottom part so I don't have to reset the Q-snap so close to the edge the next time. Yeah, and then I'm working up in here too on these little hearts in this little house. So like I said, that one's gonna go to work with me this week, and it's gonna be my lunch break project. This is Jan Lynn, Designs by Gloria and Pat, Christmas Goose, and I finished him, or her. So this is done on 14 count rustico fabric. I think it turned out nice. It's just a simple little Christmas picture. I'm not going to frame it probably till November, because I'll hang it up for Christmas. The Angel of Summer. I call her the Angel of Mistakes. I was working on her a little bit every day. Sorry. Okay, so I was working on the dress, and down here, the bottom of the dress. I can't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday. I was stitching away here, and I realized I have a counting mistake just up in here. I got so frustrated with this. I didn't throw it this time, but I put it down and I was like, I can't do this. I don't think I can finish this. And I thought that I would actually put it up for adoption and let someone else who likes to work on fine linen finish it, and restart and stitch the whole thing again on Aida fabric. And then after I calmed down, it took me a couple days, but after I calmed down and I just looked at it and I thought, I'm so close to being done, I might as well just finish it and yeah, just carry on with it and try not to get so frustrated by the mistakes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work on her this week or not, or whether she just needs to stay away for a little while. I'm not sure. I'll decide. July 1st, Canadian Beauty Start. This is a Joan Elliott design, and I'm doing a conversion on her. So I'm changing, because there's little animals in here, a fox, a bear, a beaver, a loon, there's an owl and a wolf, but I find that these animals are really lost in the red of her dress, so I'm going to do her dress in basically white. I'm converting the dress, the lower part of the dress to white. I'm going to leave her little, I would call this a little jacket or a little bolero jacket. That's what I would call that. I'm going to leave that part the way it is in the red, but I'm changing the bottom part of her dress. So there's 3 colors of red, 3 colors of green, 3 colors of blue, and 3 colors of brown. So the light, I'm using white. The mediums, I'm using ecru. And for the darker shades, I'm using DMC 613 and kind of a taupey gold. That just it looks good with the ecru. And I'm also changing the maple leaves at the top of her head. I'm going to do them in red. And I might change her crown of flowers to different colors because the red might not show up against the red maple leaves there. So there's 3 colors of red in the dress, which I'm going to use for the maple leaves. It's actually 2 of them are corals and one's a red. And then the maple leaves actually have 4 colors in them because there's a little bit darker green out on the tips of the leaves, so I picked number 326 in DMC to be the darkest shade for that. I'm also changing some of the detail on her dress. I don't think you're going to be able to see that where there's the little blue stitches there. I'm not sure if they're beads or not, but I'm going to switch them. I'm going to use Mill Hill seed beads in red, and the centers are going to be gold, and that'll be on her white dress. So I think that will look really pretty. And I'm changing a few other little things, just leaving some things off. And I might have to change my greens if the greens that I think they're called for aren't showing up well on my fabric. So I did dye a piece of fabric. I dyed some 14 count white Aida. I'll just show you. It turned out okay. And there's my little start. So what I did was I used RIT dye Emerald Green, and I put a very small amount into the salt bath, and I crumpled wet the fabric and I crumpled it up and I put it into the dye bath, and when I looked at it, it was mint. I didn't like that. So I took the fabric out and I put in more dye and checked it again, and it was aqua, and that wouldn't look good for the Canadian Beauty. So I put in more, and then it turned teal, and then I was like, okay, how much do I really need to pour in here? So I poured in, I didn't measure, I poured in much more emerald, and it came out bright green, bright emerald green. Of course it's lighter now that it's dry too, but it was really bright. So then it was not quite the tone that I wanted, so I took about a capful of brown and I put the brown in it and didn't stir it really good and just crumpled it and just pushed this in. So it's kind of got a greenish, browny, kind of mottled look, and I think that the red of her dress, or the red of her, the top part of her dress, and the white and the red of the maple leaves will really look nice on this fabric. So, needle minders, well, my magnetic board decor, I call it. The Canadian. My scissor fob is a moose. Named Bruce. All moose are named Bruce as far as I'm concerned. And my needle pusher has just a little Canadian flag on it too. I'm very patriotic today. Okay, I was going to do a mid-year WIP parade, but I have something set up on the table here and there's just not enough room to be able to do that. So this week I'm planning on working on the Cranberries one and the Canadian Beauty. So my next video I probably won't have a whole lot of progress to show, so I might do a WIP parade in that video then. But I have to get this room cleaned up. It didn't get cleaned up in my week off as I had planned, but stuff happens. So the bracelets, these are just gemstones. These are some that I had made myself. I used to sell these gemstone ones, bracelets, anklets, earrings, different things at the farmer's market. And the nail color is blue. OPI 6222. It's another mini bottle. I'm trying to get rid of all these little mini bottles. I have a giveaway. I reached 750 subscribers, so I'm going to be giving away the Nora Corbett Red Sugar chart. So if you want your name in for a random draw for this, it's new, it's not opened. Leave a comment below, and don't say giveaway or draw or anything like that. Just tell me, if you could have any superpower, what superpower would you want to have? Mine would be time travel in a safety bubble, so that I couldn't be injured and I couldn't affect anything and nothing could affect me, and I would get to come back anytime I wanted to, but I could go anywhere and look at anything in the past and just observe. I think that would be so cool. I'll do the draw in my next video, so that will either be next week or the week after. So I did finish my Alessandra Adelaide Albera de San Valentino, the stitching portion of the tree. I have it, I'm embellishing it. I haven't really told you what I've been doing with this. So I thought that I could just hit the button and turn my camera around and show you what I've got, but I can't do that. So I actually have to stop this video. I'm going to make you a little video of my setup of my embellishment of this tree, and it's just going to be a quick little video that I'm going to add on at the end of this. So if you're interested to see, I'll also post a picture on Instagram, and the name of it, I've come up with a name for it, and this piece is going to be called the Skelephant Tree. So check out the next short little video that comes up and you'll see why. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope you all have a good stitchy week. Bye.